What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Enters the Lab podcast, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and live on Twitter. Yes, your boy is back after my little vacation and other things I had to take care of. I'm back again on the podcast with Lady E, J Mick, and C Henry, my family. What's going on with y'all, man?
What's good? What's good, man?
Good up.
Good to see you, man. We here. We have finally arrived on the doorstep of football. I'm so excited.
Yes, sir. Yes, we is. We are 1 week away from the season opener with the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, speaking of the Dallas Cowboys, we got some breaking news. Right, even before the podcast. What is with breaking news right before the podcast, yo? Like, this is crazy. I think we're like 2 for 2 right now.
That's God.
We are.
God. We're living right.
Living right. So, look, the breaking news is out of Dallas. He is now with the Greenbay Packers. He has also signed an extension 4-year deal, $188 million, $136 that is guaranteed. Y'all, what do we think about this? This is absolutely insane. I was at practice when I seen the text and everything like that. I was like, this got to be fake. But nah, it's real, y'all. So Micah's out of Dallas. He's a Green Bay Packer. We're gonna go ahead with C Henry because now y'all gotta deal with him twice a year.
Hey, man, listen, man. I'm dumbfounded, to be honest with you. You know what? When I saw him supposedly going to get the second opinion, going on the plane and take that, to get the second opinion, I was kind of like, man, what's going on here? And I thought maybe he possibly could be going to take a physical somewhere and they were going to be trading him. But for Jerry Jones to make this move, man, it's kind of, I just don't know how you let this type of talent walk away. The haul that they got back, 2 first-round picks, and Kenny Clark is a I shouldn't say young player. In football years, he's a little bit older, but he's a solid player, and the 2 first-round picks, depending on how Green Bay finish, you know what I mean? They could be possibly in the back of the first round, both years. So I don't know. There clearly was some bad blood. There clearly was some bridges that could not be crossed anymore. And again, he's with Green Bay. I think he definitely takes them up a notch a little bit. Definitely, adds another element to their defense. Their defense was kind of middle of the road, in my opinion. They lost Jair Hill. I'm sorry, not Jair Hill. Jair Alexander. And they, really didn't have, besides Rashawn Gary, a real strong pass rush presence. You got Xavier McKinney on the back end, but they were kind of a middle of the road defense. Now you put an all-pro, Hall of Fame, saying trajectory type player on that defense. I mean, definitely adds bite to the pass rush. And definitely just ups their defense in all elements. You know what I'm saying? We're going to run at him, but he's a big addition. It gets interesting in the North, man. It's interesting in the North now.
Lady E, Parsons, we know the type of talent he is. He is a all-pro player. He is a Pro Bowler. He has been a consistent force in that Dallas Cowboys defense. And now we see the ugly side when it comes to contract negotiations, especially with the likes of Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboy organization. Thinking about this now, I think it's very obvious that that locker room is definitely broken.
Yeah.
In some shape or form. They are definitely broken in some shape or form. Do you think this is gonna definitely roll over into the season, right?
Yep. Very much so. I'm gonna be quite frank. Literally living out there in Texas and living in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, knowing how Jerry Jones operates, I try to tell a lot of people, I'm like, look, he's trying him. and Jerry's gonna win. He gonna prove it, even though people might not think that this is a win. But my thing is, if you don't get in order and you don't want to do what Jerry Jones wants to do, he's gonna find a way, either release you or trade you. And I already knew he wasn't gonna release him and not get nothing back for him. So the only best thing you can do is trade. It's not gonna be worth it, especially with Jerry coming out talking and saying, like, his agent said some things to him and other things like that. I already knew that relationship was a broken relationship. I already knew that relationship was nothing. Poor Ben, head coach, just got to go and roll with the punches at this point. But no, it's going to roll up to a season. Some Cowboy fans are actually, from what I've seen, were actually happy because they said the past couple of years he's been nothing but a crybaby and nothing but a nuisance for some fans. Other fans are just like, dang, what we're going to do now? But at the end of the day, I mean, some people said that he was a bother, a terrorism in the locker room anyway. So, again, it's mixed feelings out there in Dallas, I'll be honest. Some people are happy, some people are not. But we'll see as the season goes forward. Exactly, like, I don't want to say who won the trade because, to be honest with you, at this point with Green Bay, look like they're going to be picking in the bottom for a few years, a little bit. So that's not going to be good for Dallas if they're trying to rebuild in that sense. And let's just hurt Kenny Clark and go into their system and continue his dominance, what he was doing over there in Green Bay.
J. Mick, do you agree with them trading Micah Parsons to Green Bay for that large amount for a non-QB? And did Dallas... Do you feel like they even got the right conversation for a type of player like Micah Parsons?
So for me, like, the template you got to look at is you got to look at that. What's on the homeboy name from like the Bears?
Khalil Mack.
Yeah, Khalil Mack. You got to look at that as a template for this deal. Green Bay. I think Green Bay wins the trade if they win a Super Bowl. If you make this trade, you pay this man $48 million, and you don't win the Super Bowl, I can't say that you won the trade. And so from that respect, like it's been said, like when you look at Green Bay, the main issue with their defense is they could not get to the quarterback last year. I think Rashawn Gary was their leading sacker. I think he had 7.5 sacks last year.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't really getting to the quarterback. That's what their issue was. But then when you look at the team this year, the issue they have, getting the sacks and getting the pressures. That's one issue, and the secondary is the other issue. So how do you solve not having good corners? You solve that by getting a pass rusher who makes the quarterback get rid of the ball quicker. But I mean, honestly, like to me, like Micah he's a great player, he's a great pass rusher. My concern is that you're taking Kenny Clark out of that, like from the interior and your run defense, and you added Micah, which, like I said, he adds to the pass rush. Now the run defense is going to suffer, and the problem is in that division, everybody was trying to run the ball. Like everybody is. Like Detroit's running it, the Bears are going to try to run it. Like the Vikings have shown this offseason, like they acquired Jordan Mason, they're going to try to run it. And like their quarterback is JJ McCarthy. So this is JJ's first year. So they're kind of going to want to lean on the run, a little bit. So go that what I said in the beginning. Like if Green Bay wins the Super Bowl, then they won the trade. But the way I look at it is like, the Cowboys did not want to pay a non-quarterback money. Like $48 million is quarterback money. It's not top of the market quarterback money, but it's quarterback money.
Money, yeah.
So when I look at that, like they didn't want to pay him that. Like Dallas wasn't winning with Micah Parsons. They weren't. So they made a strategic decision to say we're going to trade him away. We're going to get our two additional first round picks, and we're going to get Kenny Clark, who's going to help their run defense. And like the 2 extra first round picks, like they're in the late 20s. But if you look at the Cowboys last 3-4 years, like for the most part in the first, second round, most of the time they hit on them picks. Most of the time. I mean, and you can point to guys like Mozzie Smith. Well, they didn't hit on. That's one of the many that they've drafted that they didn't hit on. But most part they hit on them. So honestly, I like the trade for both teams at this point because I think it helps both teams. But I think like the Cowboys, I get it. Like the fans are upset because fans get attached to certain players. I mean, like defensive player, I get that. But I mean, sometimes you gotta kind of take a step back and just look at the business part about it. You weren't winning anyways, and I mean, paying a guy $48 million for you not to win is just not the move.
Now I will say this: does this signal a hard reset for Dallas? I mean, you trade away, your best player defensively. I mean, what does this, signal to that team, to that locker room, to the fan base? Are they in full rebuild mode? Because I mean, low key, we're talking about the picks that they acquired from Green Bay, but if they just keep rocking the way they rocking, they're like a top 10 type pick right now. You know what I'm saying? They look like they're in the top 12, 13 teams, So
I mean, that's what it was last year.
Player here or there may be in that top 5 or 6. So that that may be that those late first may be a little icing on the cake. But is this a hard reset? And you can speak to this a little bit, DT, being in the division, with them. How do you view Dallas in that division in the hierarchy right now?
So all offseason, I have kind of been, when it came to Dallas, that yes, with Dak Prescott, they're going to be, a competent team. They're going to try a way to score some points with CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens alongside him. But you did have questions about the offensive line. They had banged up in training camp. Their starting left tackle had knee surgery. Their guards, their backup guards and stuff, they've been banged up in the offensive line. Their running backs, they had questions about their running backs. The best running back on the roster, in my opinion, was the 7th rounder Phil Maffa out of Clemson. He got banged up. He's going to be out for the first couple of games. So where are they at with Javonte Williams or Miles Sanders in that running back room? Then you got the defense. They got a new defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus, but does he really have the personnel there that fits what he wants to do? Already questions about the defensive line, even with Micah Parsons up there. The linebackers getting adjusted to the scheme. They got some guys that knows the language and what he wants to do. And then you got a secondary that's still trying to figure his way. Trayvon Diggs, I believe he just got activated off the PUP a couple of days ago. So you got to see where he's at in his health. And you got Deron Bland, who's also trying to get a contract, but also trying to stay healthy as well. So I kind of see them was always somewhere in between the third team in the division. But I think even with the Parsons thing being done now, I have a lot of questions about this roster. Like you can really say, you look at the New York Giants roster, like a lot of the spots, they look better than the Dallas Cowboys probably right now. If you look at it on paper.
On defense, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, to me, the Cowboys and the Giants are like the two polar opposites. The Giants look really great on defense. Offense, I just don't know. Cowboys, they got the talent on offense, but they also don't have it on defense. So,
yeah, that's true. We gonna see. I'm just sitting over here, just getting ready to eat my popcorn. Because, there's a little thing that the NFC East has always had about people repeating as conference champions. So I just want to see this happen. You know what I'm saying? I already had it coming down between the Eagles and the Commanders anyway. I never included the Cowboys nor the Giants. So this just makes it even better.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting now. And it's a benefit for us because now we don't have to deal with Micah Parsons twice a year.
Yeah.
But now, just even me as a Commanders fan, like now I try to tell people, like, this dude Jerry Jones, man, like y'all gotta let him go, or he might have to croak respectfully. Like
upper room.
Oh no.
With Jesus.
You know what though? I'm not gonna lie to you. What y'all think about the number though? The number 47 million. I mean, like 136 guarantee. I mean, so I'm you know what? I'm really, now that I'm thinking about this a little bit more, I'm getting more and more upset because not only is he in my division and I gotta see him twice, but he just done changed the whole trajectory of the game. Now my man's gonna want 50 million. Young Aiden, if he go out here and act a fool, he gonna want 50 million. That's gonna mess up. I was hoping to get him at the 35 to 40-ish range. Now we may lose Brian Branch because of this, man.
I mean that ship said PJ and I mean Myles Garrett got 40. That
should be
that been
what
gone.
happened to 41, 42, 43? Why they go 47?
Hey, like I said, again, they see him being worth something. They
Man,
you
shout
know,
out to
again,
his agent, man. Shout out to who was it? David Muga. I don't want to say,
Yeah.
but I don't want to mispronounce the bad last name. But shout out to the young brother, man. Both of them young brothers getting money. I like it, man. I like it.
So is Micah number one, the number one non-paid quarterback?
I think I'm pretty sure.
The next closest person is what is Chase. I think that's the next closest person.
Oh my god!
I don't know about number 2. And I don't even care who's behind me. I just know we number 1, CeeLo. That's all I know.
He said,
I can't even look in the rear view right now. We heading to the destination.
I mean, he's like, yeah, you know, be like, as long as you behind me, that's all that matters.
Man, that is.
But it's interesting though. It's interesting.
Dude,
47. Golly.
well, you know, some people are not gonna sit over here and probably see that type of money. They probably see that 41, 42 that you talking about. Not everybody gonna see what he got. To be honest with you, let's be real.
Yeah, I mean,
but I'm gonna tell you though, I mean,
his age and production.
And someone was talking about it. There are some, I don't want to say holes in this game because I don't think that's appropriate, but I think there's some games where there's something in this game that are weak, some parts of this game that are weaker than others. And I think that him going so much higher than the number, a couple of the top guys, you're right, you know, they won't be able to sit at the table for a minute because they just got theirs, but like, you know, I don't hear the complaints about Aiden Hutchinson. I'm sorry to bring it back home, but I'm still thinking about it. But I don't hear the complaints about Aiden Hutchinson, about him in the run game that I do about Parsons. But I also know that Parsons gives you a little bit more position versatility than somebody like Hutch does. So it's going to be an interesting conversation going forward in terms of that number. Man, damn, not 47. Well, woo.
47. That's a lot of money that's a lot of money for a pass rusher.
Yeah. And
Goff, you better go on and win it now, because if not, we're gonna have to restructure you, my boy.
Oh man. So speaking of paid, let's go ahead and talk about some other people who finally got their contracts and things swayed away. So Terry McLaurin and Trey Henderson were both agreed to their new contracts extensions. Terry is going to be locked in for the next couple of years, while Trey Henderson basically got a $15 million raise on the 1 year he had left, and he'll be scheduled to still become a free agent next year. So, based on that and all that information we got about these deals, who do you think probably had the best deal on the weekend? Was it Terry McLaurin or was it Trey Henderson?
Terry. I'm sorry, but I mean, I'm gonna say it, Terry. Y'all remember the KFC when they brought out their potato wedges and they said "here damn"? You know, that's basically what the Bengals did to Trey. Here damn. Because I'm sorry, 1 year. I mean, don't get me wrong.
I'm about to pull that up. I'm going on Twitter to pull that up.
But it's like they basically told him, like, okay, one, they know that they need him for the season. But it's just basically like, here, damn, now come play. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like 1 year, 30 mil, that's really that. But I mean, I did see some people arguing about Terry's number on his contract, but I just felt like, hey, lock him up, lock him in, get him ready. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's there you go. Here, damn. That's basically what they did to Trey. They really you a potato
never
wedge.
went away. What's wrong with them? They should have never went away.
Yo, the line was crazy the other day, yo.
Man, I ain't been to KC about 10, 15 years, man.
Hey, go back.
Me either, but I will go back for a wedge. You know what I'm saying? I will go back. You know what I'm saying? 2 pieces of wedge, give me some coleslaw. I will go back. I'm not too good. But I will say this, you know, I think, you know, it depends on which, you know, what each guy was looking for. $15 million raise, it sounds good to me. You know what I mean? 1 year. He is a little bit older in age. So again, you know, the long-term deal from them lucrative deal wasn't probably going to be on the table. So I think, that's not bad. That's not bad. Terry's thing, hey, to me, it's a fair deal on both sides. I like that, I felt that, I'm saying I was about right where that number was going to come in. I'm like, I'm going to tip my hat to that, where it should come in at, I'm saying I said that back in May, that T. Higgins money was kind of where he needed to be. But also, I think it was important that Adam give him a chance to earn more money, if possible, instead of baseline. Yeah. People always talk about, we in these spaces and everyone tries to kind of, say who this player is and how good he is and what he is and why he doesn't get the numbers that he get. I think Adam did a very good job in his contract saying, okay, we're gonna pay you right now for what we think you can do, but here are the baselines from where you can get this next level of money. If you want to get to where you want to be, you need to give me these 80 catches, 83 catches. This is the baseline. Yeah. You want this extra 300,000, you need to get the 1,100. Not just coming. Don't be 1,100. We got a number. We got a baseline. I like numbers. Give me a baseline of what you want this money. Give me these 10 touchdowns. And I don't want to. And you got the force multiplier that you said you needed. So I don't want to hear that you ain't got what you need. Now go out there and do it with the additional weapons, because these other guys are doing it with the additional weapons. Jamar's doing it with with T. Higgins next to him. Amon-Ra's doing it with the other guys next to him. So if you want to get this money, like you say, and tell us that you are where you are, we gave you what you need. You got pieces around you, so it ain't all on you. Now here are the numbers, the baselines where you need to get. And I like that they did that for him. And it can be as lucrative for him as it is, as productive as he is. So, if they want to get out after a year or two, they have that option. If he balling out of control, he gets all his money. So good deal for everybody.
My fault, J-Max, you're next.
Yeah, I was about to go anyways. But for me, I mean, I've been constant on this whole Terry thing, man. I feel like he deserved DK money. I've been saying that, like, to me, he a better receiver than DK is. He can run more routes. I feel like his hands are better. Like I say, his routes are better. I mean, like, so I mean that's how I look at that. He's just older than DK, but I mean, like he wanted 30 million, and that's what he got. I mean, I think it was like a tick higher than 30, but he got what he was looking for. And I think Terry knew what he was worth, and I said this on Twitter. I posted the second that he got his money. Like he knew what his worth was, and he wasn't selling for nothing less. And I mean, he got what he deserved. And I also think the Commanders kind of hamstring themselves, because like in these kind of situations where you have one dominant receiver, you have him, you traded for Debo, but I mean, Debo after this year, he's a free agent after this year. And I get that they drafted Jalen Lane, but like they didn't leave themselves a lot of wiggle room in case they didn't want to sign him to this kind of deal. And so I just think Terry kind of knew, knew his position, knew what his leverage points were, and he just exercised those points. And I just think also Jaden going into the second year, man. I know a lot of people say that Jaden is a force multiplier, and I definitely agree with that. But he's also in the second year, so you don't want to just have him playing the whole season without his best target.
Yeah.
And so I think that's also important. Like, he's still growing as a quarterback, and so what you want to do is you want to add weapons. You don't want to take them away. So
yeah. A wise man on Twitter that I do podcast with says Jada is force multiplier, but you still need to have the weapons around him, and you can only do so much with the floor with a player. So I'm getting kind of tired of that too. Like, some of my fan base been screaming at all. See, like, at the end of the day, you still need surround talent around the guy that's on the rookie deal to win a Super Bowl while he's on the rookie deal and win in general. So around 28 to 32, that was my range that I've been saying on Twitter that I felt like he was going to get. I actually am satisfied with him with the incentives that they put in his deal. I think that makes a lot of sense, especially if he's going to be projected to ascend with a Jada Daniels. Having a quarterback for the second straight year for the first time in his career is going to be very beneficial. So I actually like this deal with Terry, man, locking him up for the next couple of years. The Trey Hendricks thing, while it is a $15 million raise, it is good, but it's kind of just like, E says, like, here, like, okay, we'll do this. And, like, one thing about Trey Henderson, like, yes, he's one of the most productive pass rushers in the past couple of seasons, but he also has the same problem like Micah Parsons. He's not the very best run defender as well. And then he's on a way worse defense with the Cincinnati Bengals, and they don't have nobody on the opposite side that you feel like can produce with him. So the Bengals are kind of leaving themselves to, like, just next year banking on trying to find someone that can do the same things if he leaves for free agency. Don't y'all think?
Yeah, but he technically can't just leave though, because they can. There's no when he did this new little increase, he didn't put a clause in his contract that he can't get tagged. I don't judging by this Micah contract, like that cap that tag number just went up for everybody.
It's not like that tag is going to be probably a lot higher than they even want to mess with.
It's going to be like in the mid-30s, like.
But I think that Hendrickson has the same problem that Terry had in terms of that he's older, and I think that Cincinnati as well as other teams are going to probably have a little bit of an issue committing long-term lucrative dollars. They're going to want to say, hey, we can possibly put together a 3-year deal, but we're probably going to want to get out after 1 or 2 years if possible. You know what I'm saying? So and I think that's the challenge. So for him, it's coming to the point where if they weren't going to budge, he has a contract that he still has to play under. He didn't want to miss any games and lose any game checks. I mean, if it's missed game checks or $15 million raise, give me the $15 million raise. You know what I'm saying? Bet on yourself. You have a crazy year. Maybe somebody is willing to give you, $35 to $40 million over a couple years and damn near fully gain. Maybe he starts, getting those Kirk Cousins type deals. It may not be 47, it may be 40, but it's damn near fully guaranteed. You know what I mean? So, and it only may be a year or two. So got to be careful with it. But I think both teams are better for it. Definitely, he's definitely Jaden's best weapon when you talk about Terry. And then when you look at, Cincinnati, I don't even know another defensive player. Maybe Logan Wilson. Is he still there in Cincinnati on their defense? I don't even know another defensive player on their team. So and Shamar Stewart, the guy that they just drafted to play opposite of him, and maybe he's going to be a guy that could develop, be the heir apparent to Trey. But you had to bring him back if you're trying to have any type of success and any type of thoughts of the postseason this year. Make one last run with everybody together.
Yeah, got you. So before we get into these divisions, let's talk. So we all had our initial 53-man rosters completed this past Tuesday. Were there any surprise cuts? It could be from your team or from any team that you've seen on the past couple of days that kind of shook you that they didn't make their respective squads.
Oh, can I go? Let me go first.
Yeah.
It's not because they didn't make it. It's the fact that they made it. So I'm going to say that. It's the fact that they made it. It's two. It's two of them. Okay. One, Chaz Chambliss from Georgia. Did not expect him to actually make any team, to be honest with you. I thought he was going to be practice squad or not making anything because, again, if you know his background, he was really a special teams person. He really didn't get to see the field a lot at Georgia until like this last season. So to see that he actually made the 53-man roster as a linebacker for the Minnesota Vikings, that shook me. That shook me a little bit because I wasn't expecting that of that. And then one is from C. Henry's team. Didn't expect Dominic Lovey to make it either. Thought that man was going to be on the practice squad as well. So
yeah.
Those are my two. And then, well, actually I got three because we had one on our team, which was Burrow, that he didn't make the practice squad at all. And he was one of the best out of the preseason. So that kind of shook us a little bit when it's all said and done about that. A lot of us Falcons fans, because we thought that he would at least make the practice squad because of his play. So just to see that just kind of just shows where the direction the Falcons are actually going. It doesn't matter how good you play. It matters if you can fit the system, fit the scheme, and do what you want them to do. So those are my three.
So I go next. I mean, surprise cuts. For me, this is a guy in last year's draft that I really liked as a wide receiver. He got drafted to the Jets. His name is Malachi Corley. I think he was drafted in the third round. So a third round pick and is going into his second year got cut. And I just feel as if the Jets didn't, just kind of utilize his skill set. Like he's not he's not a route runner. Like he's not going to route you up. I mean, he's better in the short to game. But I guess with them drafting Arian Smith out of Georgia in the fourth round this year, kind of was I guess it was a sign of things to come. So that was surprising to me. For my own personal team, and then a kid that a lot of people were kind of getting hip to like later on in preseason. I think his last name is Chisholm. I'm not sure what his first name is, but I mean he's your typical slot receiver. I believe his first name is Efton. So Efton Chisholm. He was getting some traction so much that I'd be in spaces and people asking me like, what's going on with this Chisholm kid? I'm like, how the hell you know who that is? But I believe Dude played at Eastern Washington, was an undrafted free agent. He made the team. Also, we had another guy that was an undrafted free agent, linebacker. What was that boy's name? Elijah Ponder. He also made a roster too, which was kind of surprised. So I mean, like those are my two surprising keeps for my team, and one of the surprising cuts that I saw around the league.
Yeah, I wasn't too much surprised with what happened. I'm going to say Hendon Hooker, man, because I know a lot of folks really were rooting for him and wondering, was he going to be the heir apparent to Jared Goff? But just didn't work out here. But he did get picked up out of, I believe, Carolina. I think he's going to be on the practice squad. But yeah, I think just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, so I think for my team, the one spot that kind of surprised me was at the wide receiver spot. There was a lot of preseason hype about Ja'Cory Brooks, the rookie out of Louisville / Alabama. He was catching some steam, but I think even with how bad the quarterback play was outside of Jaden and Mariota didn't play at any of the games. Sam Hartman and Josh Johnson were playing. I felt like the wide receivers kind of got done a disservice based on how bad the quarterbacks were playing. And I think Ja'Cory was making the best out of his opportunities, but they put him on the practice squad. But I felt like that was a guy I kind of was a little bit surprised. I thought he was going to make the 6 wide receiver. So I think they're going to try to look for a veteran in that spot instead.
Okay.
All right. Now we're going to go ahead and continue our series. We're going to be doing we're going to do 2 divisions. 4 divisions, actually. We're going to do the NFC South and we're going to do the NFC West. We're going to do pretenders, contenders, and surprises. And we're also going to do the AFC and the NFC East as well. So let's go ahead and start with my favorite division in the South, the NFC South, because C. Henry, J. Vic, I'm gonna tell you something. And C. Henry, know, for the past 3 years we've been on this podcast, I've been picking the Atlanta Falcons to win the South. And every year they don't win the South.
Stop picking us.
Nice DT. Nice DT. They don't want your love, DT.
They don't want my love, man. I've been picking them, man. Look, in all seriousness though, the NFC South is interesting. Atlanta, to me, they have loaded up on the defense side of the ball. 2 first-round pass rushers. You get Michael Penix getting a full year starting at quarterback with the amount of weapons. Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Darnell Mooney. I just seen he's coming back to practice, so that's going to be good. Former relationship with Kyle Pitts. Maybe we see some Pitts connection this year. And the second year with Raheem Morris in that defense. Where do we stand with Atlanta? Is this the year Atlanta finally takes over the Bucs, or is this still the Bucs division?
It's only the Bucs division because we just sit over here and let them be the Bucs division. No. If everybody knows their history about that, until Tom Brady came here, the Bucks weren't doing nothing.
It wasn't nothing.
So, they weren't doing nothing.
You know where he came from.
Yeah,
Baker picked up the mantle.
I mean, I really do need to say what I'm
and just run around the track with it.
Because I was on that Falcons bandwagon 2 years ago, and then they proved me wrong.
See,
so
y'all stop being on the bandwagon. We are invisible.
Let's stop.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I was on it 2 years ago. I was not on it last year. That 1 year was enough for me. I mean, I'm sorry, but like until the Bucks show me something different, I gotta go with the Bucks. I mean, it is what it is.
Well, you know, Lady E, I'm gonna always oblige you and do whatever you ask. So for the third year in a row, I'm gonna go with them Bucks because them Bucks look pretty damn good. I like what they doing over there. I like the getting the Micah Ibuka. They're having some injury issues right now with Godwin and McMillan, and Wirfs is out. So this is definitely the time to pounce if y'all gonna pounce. But as of right now, I'm going with Mr. Bowles over there. And they're my contender. They're my contender. I'm sorry, we're talking about Atlanta. I'm sorry, I done missed. I'm sorry. Atlanta. Oh, Atlanta. Yeah, they not the winner. they not. I don't think they're the winner. So it's just like Lady E asked. I'm not picking them as the contender.
No. Yeah, I'm gonna say in my feeling Lil's voice, we're invisible. Okay, we're invisible. We're invisible right now. So that's look, thumbs up for me. I like it. Like don't pick us no more.
I mean, what I will say though, I don't think they're the pretender of the division. I'll say that. I got someone else.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Okay.
No. I mean, again, we start off our season playing the Bucks anyway, so both of us are going through injuries on both sides of the ball for so I just look at it like this. Raheem just named Billy Bowman and Xavier Watts our starter, our nickel corner, and then we got our safety as well for that. Defense is looking good. On that side, we just now got question marks on the offensive side of the ball since we did lose our right tackle with that. But Penix has faith. He does it. I think, and I'll be honest with you, McGarry, as we know, every offensive lineman either is peanut butter, no jelly, or jelly, no peanut butter. Like it's one or the other. That's just how it is. So McGarry was good in the run game, very good in the run game. Pass protection, yeah, could be better. So I feel that we'll be okay pass wise. Running wise is where it's going to get a little tricky. With that, we got Bajan, we got Tyler Algier, we just put Carter, forgot his first name already, Nathan Carter, we just put him on there as well. So that's my only concern. I'm not worried about my wide receivers, and I already told Kyle Pitts, and I'm gonna tell him again, and I'm gonna tell him straight up, you don't do what you supposed to do, bruh, man. You ain't finna get your moolah. Okay, you can go get your moolah somewhere else, but you ain't finna get your moolah here. Okay. So, or as what them YNs be saying, the munyan, you ain't finna get that money.
I know you did not say what YNs on this. Yo, this.
Well, I will say this. I forgot because I forgot. I didn't really go into Atlanta. So let me correct myself. So I will say this. I do like Penix. I do like London. I do like Bijan. They like the the little Trinity. They like the little Dallas Cowboy little connection that they had back in the day. But Pitts though, he not getting this Jay Novacek on. He got to find his groove. I don't know what happened after that first year, but what was funny was last year, early in the season, Kirk Cousins was peppering them, and they had a little connection. But then when Penix took over for those last three, it wasn't quite there. So it's going to be key that he gets that type of chemistry with Penix.
No, they've been working together this offseason. So So basically, what happened with us was Kirk was mainly with the ones from training camp all the way on for practice. Penix has been playing with the second string, but he has been with the ones part-time. And then you got to think too, like with Kyle coming off of that injury last year, they kind of limit him a little bit. And then, you develop that with Kurt because they were kind of working together. But really, in all retrospect, and just to be honest, the reason why Kyle Pitts hasn't really done it is because we really haven't had a quarterback who can get him the ball. We all know Matt Ryan loved him a tight end. I mean, he made Austin Hooper some money. Austin Hooper is still playing tight end, to be honest. So in that situation, that's what it is. But Penix said, no, we're going to get him the ball. I seen it in training camp. They do have the plays ready for him. I wouldn't be surprised to see Kyle in the slot from time to time. So, yeah, they're trying to work with him some type of way. But like I said, if he still become lazy, he still don't like running on routes, he doesn't put in like much effort, that money ain't coming, honey. It ain't coming.
So I will say, with what they've done on that defensive line, you got what's your boy Jalen Walker and Pierce this year. Then last year you got my boy Rook, and then was it Trice? I know he got hurt. They need one or two of those guys to hit on that defensive line, and if they get that, Atlanta can be my surprise in this division.
I mean, it's funny you mentioned Austin Hooper because he plays for my team. He's my second. He's tied at number 2. I mean, but I also agree. Like, to me, the surprise team in this division to me would be the Falcons to win it. That would be my surprise. So.
Oh yeah. We ain't gonna talk about the other two. See, I can skip them.
No, we gotta talk about the other teams because we can't just leave them guys out. So, Carolina, this is year 2 for their head coach. Bryce Young gained some steam down the stretch of the season after his benching from Andy Dalton. Now we'll probably say we don't really see them as like this top tier contender in the NFC, but do we think they can take the little bit of the next step in the right direction in Carolina?
I think they're gonna take a step, but I hate to put this word on them, right? But for me, like they are my pretender, man. I got to put it on somebody.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, it's a lot of Carolina fans thinking they're going to take the big step, but I'm still have some questions. They're trying to get the defense right, and still, I just need to see the full version of Bryce. I only seen the half that of Bryce Young, where it's like, okay, this is the Bryce Young that I've seen at Alabama. This is the one that won the Heisman Trophy. I need to see that all the way throughout the season. That's my biggest thing.
I mean, so my thing is somebody got to get the pretender work. Somebody got to get in every division. So it's partly that, and it's partly their offense. Like I think their offense is going to be really good. Running the ball, like they did that well with Sam Hubbard. They added Rico Dowdle from the Cowboys. So I think that combination is good. They drafted Ted McMillan. I think he's gonna be good. Coker's coming back for a second. I think he's gonna be good. I mean, I was a believer in like Leggett coming out of college. I don't really like what I'm seeing out of him right now. Like the route running, the hands not there.
Yeah.
So all of that defensively is where I'm gonna have to label them a pretender, man. They gave up 3,000 yards on the ground last year. And the thing that every Panther fan tells me, oh, well, Derrick Brown coming back. And I had to go through the game log last year. Derrick Brown played in that first game against the Saints. They still gave up 200 yards on the ground. So I mean, to me, that's what I look at. I mean, the cornerbacks outside of J.C. Horn, I mean, like when I look at the CB2, I don't really like what I see. Like I don't
you gotta stay healthy too.
Yeah, I mean, I like the CB2. I don't like the you know what I mean, like the slot corner. I don't like one of the safeties is cool. I mean, he's pretty good, but I mean the names on that defense and how they performed last year. Like I think the defense will be better, but I still think they're gonna be a bottom third in the league in defense. And if you're bottom third in the league in defense, that's just not good for me.
Good recipe at all.
Yeah.
Listen, man. Sometimes you got to have some realistic, some realistic objective views here, man. And sometimes the pretender word is not a bad word. That's not a bad step. That's a positive step for some folks out here. And from going from non-relevant, to a pretender, at least faking the funk, that's a positive step. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking about going from non-relevant to faking the funk, putting a scare into some folks. You know what I'm saying? Putting a quality competitive team out there that probably get a couple wins that folks probably don't see them getting. And again, putting a little bit of a scare into some folks, because we've seen this division be won with 10 games, 9 games. You know, it doesn't take, we haven't seen this division recently be, you know, a team jump out with 12, 13, 14 wins recently. But with that being said, if Carolina shows improvement, which I think they can do definitely with the offensive side of the ball, I can't name a person on their defense. I ain't gonna lie to you. But with that being said, if they can threaten 7-8 games, that's a little scary. They get to 7 wins. That's a positive step, and that's a quality pretender for you in this division. I stand with you, J. Mick, on their pretender, man. I stand with you, and that's not a bad thing. We thinking about you. Shit.
I'm not.
And of course, New Orleans, they have Kellen Moore as their head coach, so and got a lot of question marks. Don't really expect them to much be in any type of competition with
Rattler as their starting quarterback.
That's the ultimate thing you could be. You could be a pretender, or you could be the Saints.
That's what I'm saying. See what I'm saying?
See, now y'all giving too much credit to the Panthers. Don't do that.
No. We just said
she called a little bruh.
It's a level. It's hierarchies to this whole thing, and you don't want to be on the bottom.
And they at the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah,
I'd rather be a pretender than a team that don't expect not a goddamn thing from you.
That's every year, and I'm glad.
How much you gotta hate Shador to draft a guy named Tyler Shuck? I ain't know who. Who? Man, and he ain't starting, and he's 30 years old. Man, come on, I'm just. They want Archie, man. They want Archie, man. They taking for Archie, man.
Tyler Show was so old. Yeah, so Tyler Show was so old. People don't understand. He was backing up Justin Herbert at freaking Oregon. That's how old he is. Like some people don't even know that. Like
Justin on his second contract, ain't he?
Yep. Exactly.
Damn, man.
Yeah. Sometimes it be like that, man.
Yeah, man.
But sometimes you ain't got. Sometimes you ain't got to mention it. Sometimes you ain't got to mention.
We ain't got no word for the last place, dude. They just. Yeah.
They are. I mean, to be honest with you, Saints fans already are not expecting nothing. To be honest, they're not expecting nothing, and this is the first time I ever seen them. Exactly.
Oh man, tank for Archie. That's for the Saints. All right, let's go to the NFC West. The NFC West. So we had Rams, we got the 49ers, we got the Cardinals, and we had the Seattle Seahawks. Last year, winner, I believe it was the Rams, right? The Rams won the division last year. Mm-hmm. All right. The Rams can repeat winning the NFC West if J-Mac.
If that old man's back gonna hold up, bro. And that's my guy. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, Stafford, my guy. He's a Georgia boy. He'll always be my guy. But his back gotta hold up. Like, when I heard that he had like a dural, was it like an epidural needle in his back and all that, I was like, this ain't good, bro. Like, you're a quarterback. You're gonna take hits in the pocket. You're probably gonna get hit in the back a couple times, at least a couple times, especially with that O-line that they got out in LA. So for them to be viable, he got to play all 17 games because behind is Jimmy Garoppolo, who my team drafted him, but I don't view him highly at all. And so if Jimmy got to come in that game, I just don't like how it's going to look for the Rams, personally.
First, I would just like to say this whole division is a group of double agents. All of them, I got at least 2 classifications for. The whole division is double agents. But the Rams, though, just like I agree with J. Mick, Stafford has to be healthy. I'm gonna give him some grace. He can miss 2 games. I'm giving him 15 because getting sacked, somebody 300 pounds landing on you on your back. Come on, man. He's not that mobile. He's a gunslinger. He likes to stand there to the last pockets. Stay in the pocket to the last second sometimes. His back has got to hold up. His health has got to hold up. So it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough.
I was laughing at the comment. The 49ers, they have a lot of injuries past couple of weeks. They're scrambling.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we at with the 49ers? Are they still contenders? Or are they going to fall into the pretenders this year?
It's kind of hard to put them. What happened?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that it's kind of hard to put them in the pretenders because we've seen them still, do some things and make some noise over there in the West. I mean, it just depends on how everybody else is faring when it comes to it. But yeah, the injuries are not a good thing for them, especially going in and starting the season. So I'm not gonna put them in the pretenders category. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna say that for another team, but I'm not gonna put them in the pretenders category. They're kind of like in that gray area right now until they can figure out about those injuries. But I wouldn't put them in the pretenders right now.
So I'm going to jump in here, and this is definitely one of my double agents right here because if you listen to San Francisco's fan base, last year was a one-off. Injuries hit their team. The legacy is about to continue, okay? You know what I'm saying? The marathon continues. But when I look at their team, like you said, no IU, no Debo anymore. Jawan Jennings is in a contract dispute / calf injury. There have been some changes on their defense a little bit. CMC, you're hoping that he stays healthy. There's just a lot to be desired here. And again, another division where we didn't see a team jump out to 11, 12, 13 wins to win this division last year, and all these teams have a couple warts, if you will. So I got them as a pretender because I think folks believe that they, are going to contend out there, but I think that they can very well miss the playoffs this year. But also a surprise because if they win this division, I will be mildly surprised.
Gray area. Keep them in that gray area.
For me, you might. You might not want to call them a pretender. I'm not even gonna call them a double agent. These fools is pretenders to me. Like I'm sorry. Like Brock. Here's the thing. Like, I like Brock Purdy. I don't like. I think Brock Purdy is a really good quarterback. Like I don't. Some people don't want to put him in the top 10, top 12, wherever you want to put him. I like Brock Purdy, but CMC maybe it's fantasy remorse from last year because I had to make the mistake of drafting that boy in my work league first overall. So I don't trust that he's gonna stay healthy. I don't trust him to stay healthy. And then you got Brandon Ayuk. He's not gonna come back to week 6. I don't know what you're getting out of Brandon Ayuk either. You know what I mean? Like some of the other wide receivers it's like a bunch of guys other than Jawan Jennings that just ain't really proven. And Pearsall, like I get it, he got shot right before the season. And he's dealing with a hamstring. They got a lot of other guys dealing with injuries, especially in the wide receiver room. There's that. And then I still don't think the offensive line is that great. Like Trent Williams is 37. So he's not gonna be what what he was 2-3 years ago. He's just not. And I'm just not enthused with the rest of their line. And then I moved to the defense. Like they lost Greenlaw to the Broncos. They lost Hufunga to the Broncos. They lost pieces off that defense. So like a lot of people picking them to win the division. I just don't see it. I'm sorry.
Now, I ain't going that far. I ain't saying that. I just said we just don't know exactly. Like they can surprise you and just come out being probably number 2, like you said, a surprise. But I ain't saying that.
Clip me or whatever. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm not even shy about it. That's how I feel.
Okay. Kind of want to speed it up just a tad bit so that way we can get to the NFC and AFC East.
Okay.
The Cardinals. Is this a make or break year for Kyler Murray in this offense? And are the Seattle Seahawks a surprise team to watch in that division?
Who's that quarterback again in Seattle?
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Good old Sam.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So about that, this is make or break year for Kyler Murray. I would definitely say that the Cardinals have been flying underneath the radar, but they technically have surprised a lot of folks a lot of times. I'm not gonna lie, my team's been one of them, but they surprise a lot of people when you think that they're down for that. And then Seattle, and this I hate to say this about Seattle because they could be a surprise, but I'm gonna say pretender because Sam Darnold had that season with Minnesota. We all saw it, we all know it, but I don't think he can repeat it again. So I'm gonna say that they're kind of like on that pretender. So and then Cardinals are just the Cardinals. They're just the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm kind of with E on Seattle. They were right there. I think they somehow, some way lost the division last year or missed a playoff game somehow by some type of formula last year. So they were close. But again, though, I don't know if I got to see Sam do it again. So they are a pretender until I see Sam do it again.
And I know a lot of people don't believe in the Cardinals, but that's my surprise team, man. Like they drafted extremely well. I mean, Will Johnson. Some people say he was the best press man corner in this draft. I mean, like as long as his degenerative knee holds up, he'd be okay. First round pick, D tackle. I think it's Nolan, but
Nolan.
Yeah. So he's hurt right now, but I think he's out for the first 4, but he'll be back. And to me, it's a make or break for Kyler, man. Like I don't think it's a make or break for the coach because they built up this team since the coach got there. But for me, Kyler got to show them something. Because if he doesn't show them something, I think not this year, but after next year, they have an out. So he gotta show them something. As far as the Seahawks, man, I've never been. I mean, like Sam Darnold started in my division with the Jets. I've never been a believer in Sam, and I mean, yes, he had a great, year last year, his best year in the league, but he's gonna have to show me again. So I just don't believe in the Seahawks. Like I don't believe in the Seahawks defensively that they gotta be able to stop the run this year. And I mean, offensively, like their tackles got to hold up. And I mean, like the running backs, they got 1 million running backs on the squad because I mean, like their guys always get hurt. So they're gonna have to show me. So.
Got you. All right. That was the NFC West. Let's go ahead to the Eastern Shore. We're going to start with the AFC East. We got some AFC love up here with J. Mick. New England. Mike Vrabel era will be beginning soon. Drake May year 2 with Josh McDaniels. A lot of new faces. A lot of young guys also we've seen from the past draft also was cut. I think Drake is probably one of the only 2 guys left from the past draft class, I believe, right?
Him and Jalen Polk, yeah.
Jalen Polk. And where do you think with New England they will be? What is their ceiling for this upcoming season?
To me, in the division, their ceiling is second in the division. Ceiling to me, if everything was to go right, with the schedule that they have, they could probably win 9-10 games. I think that's the absolute ceiling. If everything go right, that's where they could be. Actually, I forgot. Actually, it's Drake May who's still left in the class, Jalen Polk, and a tackle we took out of Penn State because he's like the backup.
Kalen Wallace.
Yeah. Kalen Wallace. He's the backup. I believe he's a backup guard because they're transitioning from tackle to guard. So that's their ceiling. I think the coaching last year was so bad, like the roster was bad. I mean, they spent a lot of money in free agency. I think every one of their draft picks made the roster this year except for Braden Swinson, who we cut, but he wasn't claimed, so he's on the practice squad. So I think the future is bright. I mean, for them to get to where they want to go, I think Drake May got to show exactly what people, I mean, not just people locally, but nationally expect out of Drake May. And if he can deliver on that, then like they could be a borderline playoff team.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I like what some of the young talent you guys have acquired over there, and I like some of the veterans that you brought over there with Diggs. He's definitely trying to build it up around Drake May. I think they can be a surprise over again. I think that they can possibly broach 7 to 8 wins. And again, scare some folks over there, man. And that division, besides, Buffalo, it's definitely second place is definitely for the taking. So, I think New England can definitely scare some folks and be a surprise over
there. For me, it's for me. I know I kind of been peeking in at the Jets, just kind of seeing exactly, what they got going on over there. And then I definitely do see with the Patriots too as well. For me, it's between those two. Just the, give or take quarterback. I'm going to leave that to the quarterback and what the defenses can do. You know, we already know the team down there in the state that we kind of want to cut off from the rest of the United States. We already know them. We don't have to worry about them. And then, you know, shout out to the Bills for literally getting James Cook's deal done, because that's your offense too, but you know, besides Josh Allen. So shout out to them. You know, they probably are going to run away with the division again, but I definitely can see between the Patriots and the Jets for that division, because they both, like I said, it's just all for me depending on the quarterback and what their defenses can do.
All right. And for the Miami Dolphins, are they heading for a total reload or a total rebuild if they don't?
Both.
Okay. So thank you for answering that already.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of they already started though, because if you look at their draft, like they took a lot of trench players, like they took a lot of they took interior linemen and like D tackles and stuff like that. So they're trying to rebuild the trenches, because like what tends to happen with them is as it gets later in the season, like they don't have depth, and then the players get hurt, and then it's fall off a cliff. So I think they're trying to address that. Their major issue in the division is the Bills. They cannot beat the Bills. I think the record against Josh Allen is like 12. They're like 2-12. So they got to be able to solve that. I mean, even the Jets and the Patriots have beaten the Bills and Josh Allen more than the Dolphins. So it's just like it's just something they got to solve. And I mean, like by solving that, I mean you're in a division with 3 cold weather teams. So I mean, you got to get tough. And that's where it comes down to.
Good, great word there. Tough. You know, after you know, seeing those guys in that joint practice, man, that was something that we did not hear a lot about from that team. Toughness. Didn't hear a lot about grit. Didn't hear a lot about them being a resilient team. And I think that you know, is a reflection of their coach. You know what I'm saying? I think Mike McDonald's a very, very talented and skilled play caller and skilled X's and O's guy. But I think that there's something to be said about him and something that he hasn't really connected to that team. And, you know, when you look at his personality, he seems a little aloof. It seems a little bit easygoing, a little bit. And sometimes folks have a switch that they can, you know, hit and they turn into another person. I don't know if he turned into that other person in that team, and they're starting to get a little bit soft. So I don't know if he's losing that team or what, but they, to me, are a pretender because they should have more talent. I don't know who's going to be the primary pass rusher for them on that defense, but offensively, they should. You look at a Waddle, you look at a Tyreek, you look at an Achane. They, I don't know who's. They got Darren Waller. I'm saying I don't know who's playing tight end, but they brought in Darren Waller over there. I think they picked up Dosick off of the waivers to kind of give them a little bit of insulation at that tight end position. So you have a talented offense, and we know about Tua and the injuries that he has to go through, but the talent is there, and I just don't see the mental toughness on either side of the football. Man, they're a very, very finesse football team, and like you said, warm weather team. So when it gets to December, it gets to January, you have to go to these different places and play football. Are you physically and mentally prepared to go to war? And they just don't seem to have it right now. So I think they're a pretender.
All right. That was the NFC East. Now we here with the final division, the one and only, the NFC East with the Philadelphia Eagles, Washington Commanders, New York Giants, and the now depleted Dallas Cowboys. So since Micah Parsons is already in the news, are the Cowboys already? Can we just put the pretender tag on the Cowboys, or they're gonna still have some life?
They might not even.
They're gonna have some life. I'm not gonna say I'm counting them all the way out, but as long as you still got CeeDee Lamb on that team, they just picked up George Pickens. You got them legitimately got Dak. I still don't trust Dak. I'm just saying he's, you know, however you want to look at that situation, but you know, you got Dak still over there, and yeah. Now, can we say about the defense? Do we know how that defense is going to look? No, but My internet just messed up on me? Nope. Okay, there we go. But no, can we sit over here and legitimately, say what that defense is? No, we don't know what it's going to look like right now moving forward, but they're going to have some life. I gave the pretenders to the Giants because if y'all think y'all sit over here and start in Jackson Dart and that's going to be your franchise QB, we're going to have a problem.
You don't like Dart?
Dart hasn't shown me nothing, even when he played at Ole Miss, because again, your coach legitimately went over there into the portal to build a team to beat Georgia, but you couldn't beat Florida. I ain't with it. I'm good, beloved.
Yeah,
she got some personal drama.
No, I mean, I kind of agree with her on Jackson Dart, though. I don't believe it because the problem with Jackson Dart is like the combine was built for Jackson Dart. Like, he's gonna look good in the combine. He's gonna look good in t-shirts and shorts. He looked good then, but I mean, when the bullets is flying in that fourth quarter, I don't trust him. I just don't. That's the way I feel too, because I've seen it. Like I saw it against Kentucky last year. I saw it against Florida last year. Like, he had the ball in his hands to win the game, and he turned the ball over. And that's what it was.
Twice. Back to back.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry.
Dallas.
But I mean, in terms of pretenders, I mean, to me, the pretender, I think the Cowboys are going to be good, but I mean, like, the thing is, like, Dak plays well against the division. I mean, like, you can't question that. But I feel like they're pretenders because I don't think they're going to, the way the team is constructed, I don't think they're going to be able to stop the run, and I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball enough. And I mean, it's kind of like the AFC East. Like, you're going against teams like the Eagles and the Giants and the Commanders. You're going to need to be able to stop the run. You're going to have to be able to run the ball. And I don't think they're going to be able to do either of the two. And so that's why I think they are going to be a pretender.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, we said 7-8 games, scare some people, you know what I'm saying? Give a little bit of, a little, ooh, maybe the playoffs. Ooh, maybe they do that. Maybe they are the pretenders. But I ain't going to lie, man. I don't like no Micah. They may not, man. 5 or 6 games, man, is realistic, bro. 5 or 6 wins, now 7-8. Yeah, they could possibly get there too. But if you told me at the end of this year they 5-12, it's like, all right, yeah, explosive offense. Yeah, they scored some points, but I can see them losing double-digit games. And yeah, I mean, yeah, pretender. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They have the potential to just fall all the way off. Ain't no telling.
If you talk in DC, we cannot hear you.
See him. Let's put to see him. Final question to the panel. We know about the long-standing history, no repeat winner. Will the Eagles repeat winning the NFC East? Yes or no?
Y'all better put a stop to it to keep the tradition rolling. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna say no, and the reason I say no is because people don't realize, man, like, they lost a lot of players a lot of influential players. They lost Milton Williams to us. They lost Josh Sweat to the Cardinals. I believe they lost one of their corners, went to the Steelers. Slay went to the Steelers. And so their CB2 right now is Ringo. And I mean, Ringo a bulldog, but bro, I wouldn't put my trust in that boy at all.
First of all, hold on. I'm gonna say this. Eagles fans, move that man to safety. I know he can't cover, but still move that man to safety. You might have better luck.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yeah.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, Jahad can't. I think he's about to be a beast. Don't get me wrong. That was a great pick. I think he's gonna be really good. But I just think when you lose all that on defense is going to affect you. And and you have that, and then you have the Commanders. I think the Commanders, like, I think JD gonna grow in that offense. They added some pieces on offense and defense, and I mean, I think the Commanders could get the Eagles, but I do think both teams are gonna make the playoffs. I'm not saying the Eagles gonna completely fall off and not make the playoffs, but I think that this division will come down to one game, and I think, like, whoever wins it is only gonna win it by one game. And I mean, like, so I view it as pretty closely.
So I'm in agreement with you in terms of, I think it's going to be a lot tighter. I think when I look at Philadelphia, to your point, they lost so much talent, especially on that defensive side of the ball, a lot of experience, a lot of leadership in that locker room. So I think that Howie has done a great job in terms of getting some young talent, in there, trying to retool on the fly while contending. But a lot is going to really, really depend on the offense this year. I don't think that Jalen Daniels. I don't think that Hurts can have the same year passing the ball that he had this year. Last year, going forward to 2025. I think a lot of pressure is going to be on that offense to perform. They're going to have to carry that defense probably for the early portion of the year, or maybe all year, as they, learn to, as the defense kind of, gets older, and gets more mature. When you look at who's going to rush the pass, I know they have Jalen Carter on the inside, but like who's the primary, outside pass rusher? I know, Nolan Carter is going to be. I'm sorry, what's my man name? Nolan. What's the defensive end from Georgia? Smith. I know he's going to be asked to do a lot more, but I think Washington has definitely closed the gap. But I still look at Philly as probably having just a little bit better roster right now. But I like what Washington did, and I think it comes down to one game.
All right. I like the sound of that. And unfortunately, that's all the time we're going to have to give to y'all today. I know that we didn't really get to the topic, but one final thought for us is college football is back. Our favorite teams will be playing this Saturday. It's week 1 of college football season. And we're going to be talking about more of that next week. We're so sorry about that because the Micah Parsons thing kind of threw things out of frenzy. We had everything planned out, but y'all know once we get breaking news and stuff like that, we got to cover it on the podcast with my favorite crew, my family. But any final thoughts for the crew before we head out?
Go Dogs.
Marshall, and I'm going to say this to the dude that said, like, Georgia fans, we heard what you said. That's it.
Hey, man, enjoy week 1 of college football, and I can't wait to talk about some of these great games that we have in week 1. It's not a lot of duds this week, a lot of big football games. I think we're going to be talking about 3 or 4 games next week, so you guys make sure you tune in next Thursday.
All right, that's all we have for y'all today for Enters the Lab podcast, presented by Red Zone and the Lab Production. We will catch you guys next week as we get ready for the pregame edition of Enters the Lab, as we get y'all set for the Eagles and Cowboys week 1 NFL season. If we recap week 1 of college football season, we'll see you guys next week.